possibilities, what you can do on the offensive side. Good job by the offense.
Newton still has it, looking to the right side and throw. And the Panthers have...
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Big J Gleez here, and we're going to take a look at the shotgun tight offset tight end 0-1 trap. And to understand how this works, you need to understand alignments. So on top of the center, that's going to be a 0. Shaded next to the center is a 1. Next would be a 2-eye, which is inside the guard. 2, head up on the guard. 3, outside shoulder. 4-eye, inside shoulder of the tackle. A 4 is going to be head up on a tackle. A 5 is outside technique on a tackle. On a tight end, inside would be a 7, and a 9 would be outside shoulder. And that's where the term wide 9 comes from. It's wide outside the tight end. But to understand this play, we're going to need to understand these alignments. So let's go ahead and take a look at this play against a few different defensive fronts and see why this play is successful and why you can also get hit for a big loss or only a short gain. Alright, so we're going to start off with this run against a 4-3 front, and you'll see that the 3 technique on the right actually gets trapped, and that's the correct assignment for the guard, is to trap that 3 technique. But you'll notice that there's too many people in the box. Right now we have 5 blocking inside the box, but we're playing against 7. Now before we get the numbers back in our favor, I just want to flip the play and find out what the offensive line will do if we run the trap to the 1 technique. They should be trapping the defensive end. And we see they do. The offensive line actually adjusts properly. And as an offensive lineman myself and an offensive line coach, I know that that's the right thing to do. So they're blocking the trap as far as who they trap correctly. And that's good. That's big for Madden. Now let's get the numbers back in our favor and run this against a nickel set, which is basically a 6-man box. And when I say box, I mean from tackle to tackle. And when I say tackle, I mean offensive tackle. And you see they trap the correct guy, but they leave the linebacker completely unblocked because the blocking assignments are not correct. And let's go over why that happened. All right, we're going to start with the tackle on the right. Ideally, he should be blocking out on the defensive end, which you'll see illustrated right here by my glorious Photoshop skills. The guard should inside release and go up for that linebacker that isn't blocked. The center should then block back. The guard will then pull through and complete the trap, and the tackle on the left side should also inside release and get that linebacker. The slot could cut their split down and just get in the way of that defensive end, and that would be enough to allow this play to work. But we know in Madden, the slots never cut down their splits, and that stuff doesn't really happen. So we just have to take it for what it is. Now, just to check, I want to see what the offensive line will do blocking a 2-eye technique with a trap. So we flip the play and we see that anything from outside of a 1 technique, they are going to trap. All right, so if there is someone that's lined up on the inside shoulder of the guard, that's the person that's going to get trapped. Anyone head up on the center or in a 1 technique, which would be a shade on the center, they're going to bypass that person and they're going to trap the next man on the line of scrimmage, as you see right there as they trap the 2-eye technique. Now, to take advantage of these rules that Madden has put in place, we're going to take a look at this play versus the dollar set. And running this against dollar is going to be ideal. As you'll notice, the guard pulls across and he's going to trap the defensive end. As you notice, it leaves a wide hole right in the middle of the field, and we can just make our cuts based off the blocks and what we see. We'll take a look at this play again. We're going to run it flipped. You don't have to run it flipped, but we are going to run it flipped. And we get a nice gain there. Everyone is blocked and accounted for, and we no longer have the threat of getting popped by an unblocked defender. Now let's take a look at this play versus a 3-4 front. Now, if you're playing against a 3-4 front, the play should work the same, right? You still have a 3-2 box when we're looking at the amount of players in between the offensive tackles. So the play should work the same. So let's take a look at this. We come out, we analyze the front, we run it, they trap the same guy, and it does seem to work. It works pretty well, actually. Now, to the untrained Madden eye and someone that doesn't know football as well as some other people, they might be satisfied with that, but I'm not. Let's take a look at the front and count numbers on each side. You'll notice that there are 3 guys on the right side of the ball and only 2 on the left. And the reason for this is because the cover 3 has rolled and the safety is now inside the box on the right. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip this play and we're really going to stick it to the defense and run away from the cover 3 roll. And yeah, that's 6. All right, if you notice, we have the numbers, we have the angles, we have the correct block on the trap. We also have our offensive lineman getting a great pancake and moving up to the second level. But even if that pancake doesn't happen, during that play, it will be you one-on-one with the free safety, and you can't ask for anything else more than that. So in short, you want to run this play against any 3-man front opposite of the side that the safety rolls for the cover 3. And to do that, all you have to do is count numbers. It's very easy and it's very simple, and it's an easy adjustment that you can just simply flip the play at the line of scrimmage, and I'm sure it will catch your opponent off guard. Now this kind of stuff might seem a little bit complex or intricate, but I feel like to understand this, it's really worth it. These kinds of ideas, principles, and ways to break down formations and the way the game plays applies to everything. This is how you lab. Getting a deeper thinking about Madden is going to elevate your game above everyone else. Now we're going to take this to an even higher level of thinking right now. I'm going to come up with a way to screw this play over, and we're going to take a look at that right now. Now, I'm sure you know that on plays where certain players are blitzing, they often will walk up to the line of scrimmage on their own, and you can see that right here. And what that does is it screws up the entire blocking of the offensive line, and they now account that linebacker for a lineman on the line, which in real football, that's what you would do, but in Madden, it really doesn't help you out running that play toward that type of front. So, if you see this, you either want to get out of the play, flip the play, or just run something completely different. These are the type of things that you really need to be aware of, and when you're playing someone, if they're gashing you with this play, this might be something that you want to implement into your defense. Now again, like I stated, this might be a little bit complex for you. You may have to watch the video a couple times, but anytime I can implement something as simple as just running the ball and scoring a quick 6 points or getting a huge gain, I'm going to implement it into my offense. If you have any questions, just leave them down in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown and this tip on how to run the ball using the trap in Madden 15. If you like this, make sure you click that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and remember to game strong.